Haven't seen you guys in a while. What's going on, everybody? Hope you all have an amazing day. And today we're going to be reviewing the Everton versus Aston Villa game at Goodison Park. But before we get into that, welcome back. Can I say back? It's been a little bit of time. Oh, it's been that long. Fair enough. Anyway, it was a pretty good match yesterday. I've just been busy recently and all that stuff. I still watch all the games. I still analyze it in my head. I just haven't been posting them to YouTube recently. But I'm going to try to get back on that grind. I know you guys have been asking for some recent uploads, and they're still showing support on the videos I uploaded a while ago. And I'm hoping to get back on that YouTube grind. But anyway, we're going to be reviewing the Everton versus Aston Villa game, like I said. It was a very good result. Obviously, it shows we're not on the beach quite yet. I mean, we don't really have much to play for. European competition for next season is unlikely. Still theoretically possible, but not realistic, I don't think. I mean, we dented Everton's chances of getting into the European places, which is something at least. But it just shows that we still have the will to fight and play games, because we do have a lot of challenging fixtures coming up. Play Everton again in like 12 days or something, which is crazy. But anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so the lineups came out yesterday, and it was pretty much what I expected. Obviously, the back four is going to be the same: Cash, Consom, Mings, Target, Martinez. And then the midfield is one that I really like: Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, and Russ Barkley. I'll talk about Russ Barkley specifically later. I thought he was very good. He's been reinvigorated into this Aston Villa team. And up top, we had El Ghazi and Traore, of course, supporting the main man, Ollie Watkins, who scored his 13th goal in the Premier League this season, which is very impressive. And I thought all those three worked really well together. We looked very, very threatening. Definitely the more threatening than two teams, but it was a very end-to-end game. It was very open, especially in the first half. It was like we were playing pinball, basically, end-to-end, chances to chance, chance to chance, and mostly misses, to be honest. But let's get into the start of the game and how it went from the first whistle. Alright, so the whistle blows at Goodison Park, and we kick off. And immediately, Everton are on the front foot for the first 30 seconds to 2 minutes. They had a chance or two. Obviously, that's to be expected. They're the home team. They haven't won at home in quite some time. They're going to want to prove their fans and all the neutrals wrong, so that they still are a competitive team and looking for those European places. They definitely had more to play for, especially coming into the game. They're going to have a lot of adrenaline because they're hunting for a European spot, whilst we are just looking for a top 10 finish for the most part. And then, of course, 13 minutes in, Ollie Watkins, the absolute world-class striker he is, pounces on one too many Mason Holgate touches. The Mason Holgate learned that the hard way. And, of course, he gets to the ball first, even when Mason Holgate's tugging on his shoe, going through the back room with the slide tackle. He rises back up every time and then slots it through the legs of Jordan Pickford, who had a glorious game yesterday. May I add, some exceptional saves from Jordan Pickford. Respect. But obviously, also, let's not be doing that against us, please. Then, about 6 minutes later, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he does what he does, DCL. He rises highest from a corner, which was very poorly defended. Back post, heads it over the reaching hands of Emi Martinez, and then Tyrone Mings just bundles it inside the goal, basically. What can you really do? Of course, it's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but why are we having Russ Barkley moke him? And also, Russ, if you're going to moke someone, maybe track the man next time instead of just, like, zone covering blades of grass. That was a little strange to me. But then from there, it's just chances and chances, completely end-to-end. Continuously, chances. Obviously, we had the better clear-cut chances. Traore hitting an effort that was gloriously saved by Jordan Pickford, like I mentioned earlier. And then El Ghazi striking the post, Russ Barkley striking the post. I mean, what can you do, really? We go into halftime dissatisfied, as we should be. We were by far the better of the two teams, with by far the more clear-cut chances, having hit the woodwork 2 or 3 times, and we go in all square, back to square one. Really, it was all for nothing, really. We had momentum, but it's halftime, though. Going to get reinvigorated by the great manager that is Carlo Ancelotti, which they inevitably didn't, because the second half kicked off. We were better again. I mean, sure, they had 1 or 2 chances that they probably should have scored. Richarlison had a few bad touches, although he was much more effective in the first 15 minutes of the second half than any other period of the game. And then we had some chances as well. We were combining very well. We were getting some chances. I believe Russ Barkley had a hit or two. El Ghazi tested Pickford a few times. And we just kind of put the ball in the back of the net. It wasn't quite as end-to-end. It was a little bit more cagey, a little bit more, feisty and fiery in the middle of the park. The ball getting lost a lot. It was very loose in possession in the second half. But then in the 80th minute, Anwar El Ghazi, what a hit, son. Obviously, it comes to him from a crossfield pass after some beautiful interchange play between Bertrand Traore, Ollie Watkins, and John McGinn. Comes crossfield. El Ghazi takes a good touch. Round Seamus Coleman, who just gives him way too much time and space, and he sends a lovely curler into the top right corner. Jordan Pickford was almost got to it, but what can you do? You don't save those. It was a lovely strike and a lovely way to end the game. And then we saw it out What a performance. 2-1 win. Great, excellent away win, obviously. Another win on the road. Can we win at home, please, next time? But also, great for the fans to show that we're not on the beach yet. We're still here to compete, and considering we have a lot of tough fixtures coming up, Everton again, Chelsea, Man United, Palace, all the lot, we're going to have to be at our best, and that shows that we can still play like that towards the tail end of the season, even when we're not fighting for too much, but we still want to compete, so that's great to see. Alright, so after the quick recap of the match events, I'm going to go through every single player for our Aston Villa side and say how I think they did. Starting from the back, Emiliano Martinez. Nothing you can really do about the first goal. Sure, he maybe could have gone to ground a little bit later and would have had a better chance of stopping it, but his defender should have a better job covering the back post and not having him track across the entire goal line into people. Obviously, people are in his line of sight. There's a lot of clustering going on in the box. There's a lot of chaos. Nothing they can really do for the goal, but he made some good saves. His distribution was very good. No mistakes from him. It was just another solid performance from Emiliano Martinez. Unfortunately, not a clean sheet, but he's a world-class keeper. He did well again, and he will continue to do well for this Villa team, I hope. It's been a great season for him, and he's continuing it towards the tail end. Well done, Emmy. So our center-back partnership, Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings, I thought they were both pretty good today. Tyrone Mings definitely better than Konsa. Konsa had made a few mistakes. It was a little bit iffy at times from Ezri. But also Tyrone Mings was just a very cool, calm head. He actually went forward pretty well. He tried a Cruyff tone, which was painful to watch. But that's why he's the center-back when it comes to it, of course. And he was very good defensively, cleared everything, no nonsense, very sensible from Tyrone Mings. Another class performance from Tyrone Mings. Ezri Konsa, there's a little bit to be worked on. Obviously, he's still a young player, and obviously he had a rough game last time out. Could still be affecting him. Hopefully he can get out of a little bit of a rut. Although that just shows how much of a good player he is, that, he has 2 bad games and we think he's in a rut. He's just such a phenomenal player with so much potential. Hopefully he can get back to his best very, very soon. Alright, the outside back pair. We're going to start with Matty Cash, who I actually thought was very, very good today. He went forward well, and he marshaled Richarlison and Iwobi, who switched sides a little bit during the half very well. Nothing really came from his side as much as Matt Tau gets a low. Nothing really came from either side, really. It was mostly from the middle of the park with Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Sigurdsson bringing the ball forward, especially in the first half. But another calm and cool professional performance from Matty Cash, especially after his reckless outing against Manchester City with the 2 yellow cards, the second one completely unnecessary. And obviously Dean Smith trusted him, brought him straight back into the lineup after his suspension, and he repaid that trust from Dino and gave him a good, solid performance. Expect him to be back in the lineup for next week. At Target, like I mentioned earlier, a little bit of concern with that twisted knee. It looks like he was able to marshal on and finish out the game, and he looked comfortable. He was another solid performance from Matt Target. He went forward well. Sure, his deliveries could have been a little bit better. Some went straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. A little bit were too floated. Of course, that stuff happens, but another calm, cool, pretty average performance from Matt Target today. I'm happy with it, but there's also some things that could have been better. But that's with everyone. That's always how it's going to be. And Matt Target's been great this season. He's a great player, and he's definitely improved from last season in terms of consistency. Alright, on to the midfield trio of Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, and Ross Barkley. We're going to start off with Luiz, who I thought was just average today. He distributed the ball pretty well, although he had some loose passes at times. But ultimately, he marshaled the ball very well and definitely won the midfield battle with the likes of Andre Gomez, Alan, and Sigurdsson. So that's very good to see. John McGinn, however, I didn't think was as good. Obviously, we've grown to expect so much of John McGinn. He's such a fantastic player, but today I just didn't see it from him. He obviously covered every single blade of grass. He always does. That's what we've come to expect of him, and that's not something that I'm overlooking. It's just the fact that in possession, he wasn't too overly comfortable. He made some very loose passes that made me question, like, what was he trying to do there? What did he think was going to happen? And he went forward well at times, but defensively, he looked a little bit lost compared to the likes of Andre Gomez and Alan. Ultimately, I'd probably give him a 5 out of 10. I don't think it was his best performance in a Villa shirt, although I wholeheartedly think that he's still a phenomenal player. I'm not gonna, this one game is going to change my mind. And there were still bright moments, but I just think overall that there's things that could be worked on from that performance and things that could be taken as a negative from that game. But ultimately, we won the game. I don't care. I'm happy. Now on to the best midfielder and probably the best player in the match, in my opinion. That is Ross Barkley. What a performance it was. He looked so reinvigorated just to play football. Obviously, I saw a stat. I forgot how much. I think it was like what? I forgot how many kilometers, but he's covered so much ground, and that's something that we were starting to get a little bit concerned with. Is Ross Barkley? Does he even want to play? But he seems to have that passion. He seems to have a little bit of anger at that he was left out of the squad, left out of the team. Not the squad, left out of the team for like 6-7 weeks, and for the 8-9 games ever since Jack Grealish got injured. But he's come back in and he's doing very well. He hit the post, unlucky not to score or get an assist. created a lot of chances, passed the ball well. I don't remember him losing the ball at all in the match, so it was very good from Ross. And also, just what a performance. I'm so happy to see him back, energetic on that pitch for Aston Villa, and excited to play even without his main mate, Jack Grealish. But he was still phenomenal today and definitely supplied and should have got at least a goal or an assist. But another great performance from Ross Barkley, adding on to that great performance from last week. And then our three up top, El Ghazi and Traore. El Ghazi wasn't the best first half for him. I thought he had some loose touches. He definitely grew into it, definitely got better as time went on. Created a few chances, had a strike or two, but overall, it was a pretty average first half from Manuel El Ghazi. I say I was happy with it, but then second half, he was a different beast. He was dictating the play. He was getting the best out of Seamus Coleman every single time, beating him down the line, putting in crosses, and then ultimately, he takes a lovely touch in the 80th minute and curls it around Jordan Pickford's outstretched hands to put it in the corner and win the game for Aston Villa. His 8th goal of the season, considering he makes a lot of appearances off the bench. That is very good from Manuel El Ghazi, a very good return. More than he had last season when he started pretty much every week. Then Bertrand Traore on the right-hand side. He was very good for me. I've grown to expect so much from Bertrand Traore. Such a technically gifted player and such an important player to this Aston Villa team. He's one of the undroppables at this point. He passed the ball so well. He had so many lovely pieces of skill. Was unlucky not to score. If it wasn't for a great Jordan Pickford save, then he would have done so. And also had an assisted that lovely Manuel El Ghazi goal with a nice slide roll, cross-field pass from some great interchange play with McGinn, Louise, and Cash. And that's all you can really ask from Bertrand, another calm and cool, collected performance. You could ask for some more goals, but ultimately he's a great player and he's doing well for his first season back in the Premier League. And I'm really happy with him. Ollie Watkins, he's got to be man of the match. Him and Ross Barkley, he just works so hard. He works so hard. Like, just so hard. He covers every single blade of grass. He's always on the defender. He makes things difficult. And he proved that again today with the first goal. Mason Holgate takes one too many touches. Watkins is on him. He's battling for everything. Unlucky not to get 2 or 3. He could have had a hat trick. But obviously, it's the Premier League. You're going to miss some chances against some top-quality goalkeepers like Jordan Pickford, and threw himself at everything. And I definitely think Gareth Southgate, watching him from the stands, would definitely have handpicked Ollie Watkins over DCL in that game, and that's all that you can really ask for. It was another great performance from Ollie Watkins. Covered everything, like I said, and made some great runs down the line, received the ball, held the ball up well. He's just a phenomenal player. There's nothing you can really ask from him. Ultimately, it's just a phenomenal result for us. Proof that we're not on the beach yet. We're not done in the Premier League yet. We've got half a dozen games left, and we're going to make every single one of them count. We go up against a team like Everton. We don't have our talisman Jack Grealish. They're still fighting for a place in Europe. Every point to them matters. They're at home, and they haven't won in, 8 games, is it? And they're really fighting for it, and we put them to the sword. We were unlucky to concede a goal today. We could have easily kept a clean sheet. Well, we created a lot of chances without our best attacking player. And we could have scored 3-4 goals, and that's just amazing to see, proof that we're not on the beach yet. And as an Aston Villa fan, I think I'm pretty confident that I speak for all Aston Villa fans in saying that this was a huge boost to our confidence in our team without Jack Grealish. And it's just great to see us back out on the field winning games on the road once again without Jack Grealish. But anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed the video. I know I have enjoyed filming it. I hope you have enjoyed watching it. Make sure to hit that like button if you did, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like the content you see here. Gonna get back on that YouTube grind. Thank you all for all the support. I know I've been gone for a while, but you guys have still been supporting the old videos, which is completely amazing to me. You guys are the best. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, and remember, up the Villa.